Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
Breaking news alert on the coronavirus pandemic in the region. More cases of COVID-19 are confirmed in the Red River Valley. The Minnesota Department of Health says cases have now been reported in Wilkin and Mahnomen counties. Another case has also been reported in Clay County, bringing the total there up to 4. Minnesota now has a total of 346 cases. 31 of them are currently in the hospital, and this is a drastic increase from just a day ago when the state reported 287 cases. 2 people diagnosed with COVID-19 have died, and 41 are in the hospital. In North Dakota, the total number of COVID-19 cases have climbed above 50. 7 new test results came back positive overnight, most of them from Burleigh County. Included in that list is a child under 10 from McIntosh County. 2 of the new patients are being hospitalized for the illness. In total, there are now 52 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in North Dakota. The State Department of Health will be releasing updated numbers this afternoon, so stay tuned in here at Valley News Live or on the VNL app. With the new shelter-in-place order for Minnesota, many are wondering how law enforcement will handle it. Clay County Sheriff Mark Emting says deputies will not stop you to see if you should be heading to or from work or other essential services. The sheriff says you have a constitutional right to privacy, and law enforcement can't stop you unless they have a reasonable suspicion to. He also says authorities will not arrest people or issue citations to people who are outside of their homes. The warden of the South Dakota Women's Prison resigned abruptly this week after 9 women inmates escaped from the prison and another tested positive for COVID-19. Wanda Markland offered her resignation on Tuesday. State officials announced on Monday that an inmate at the prison had tested positive for COVID-19. 9 women then escaped from that prison that night. 4 have since been captured. The governor has confirmed that the escapees were from the same unit as the woman who tested positive. Taking that live look outside on this Thursday afternoon, you can kind of see it in the upper hand corner of your screen right there. A little blue sky. It's a very welcome sight because we've been cloudy for the last few days. For what we can expect in our forecast, though, let's head on over to meteorologist Justin Fanfarelli.
And thank you, Jordan, and good afternoon, everybody. Yes, temperatures across the region are going to be on their way up. We're going to have a decreasing cloud trend as mostly cloudy skies turn partly cloudy going through the day today. Let's take a look at the current temperatures around the region right now, as we do have some areas close to 30 degrees, especially across Lakes Country, lower 30s, Devil's Lake and Jamestown, and a little area in the light blue here still into the mid-20s right now. The wind has flipped around to a southerly direction, wind speeds around 15 to 20 miles per hour, but the wind will decrease going into the afternoon. Also, we've burned off most of the fog across the region, especially in our eastern counties, and as you make your way out toward Jamestown and Valley City, just a little bit of reduced visibility into the Grand Forks area right now. Mostly cloudy skies the story, but turning partly cloudy. Some snow showers up toward the Canadian border. That's basically it for the moisture, and we'll have partly cloudy skies going through the day today. Temperatures a little cool into the Fargo area, into the mid-30s. We'll have that full 7-day forecast coming up later in the newscast.
All right, thank you, Justin. New at noon, the government has issued a new deadline for the Real ID mandates. Within the hour, they announced that. The Fed announced the new deadline is October 1st, 2021. The COVID-19 pandemic is why it's getting pushed back. The government doesn't want people crowding into DMVs to update their ID. Concordia College has canceled its upcoming commencement ceremony. On Twitter, the school announced their spring commencement ceremony would be canceled as Minnesota continues to deal with the coronavirus pandemic. They said that they will work with their commencement planning team to find a new date for the event. MSUM has also canceled its commencement. Relief is on the way for those paying back student loans. The Department of Education says they will no longer withhold portions of borrowers' tax returns and Social Security payments in response to the coronavirus outbreak. Borrowers who have had their paychecks garnished are entitled to their full pay. However, that change must come from their employer. Interest rates were set to 0% back on March 13th and will stay that way for the next 2 months, giving those a chance to suspend payments for the time being. More Americans than ever before are applying for unemployment. New numbers today show nearly 3.3 million Americans applied for those benefits. The massive spike in new jobless claims comes as nationwide lockdowns to halt the spread of the virus, and that's kept many Americans from their jobs. According to the Labor Department, only 282,000 people filed for unemployment in the previous week before these lockdowns started. Some experts say today's numbers only reflect the tip of the iceberg, and they expect jobless claims to increase in the coming weeks. Congress is on the verge of passing a $2 trillion stimulus package meant to keep the economy afloat while the nation tries to stem the spread of the virus. The bill comes as the chairman of the Federal Reserve gave a rare television interview trying to reassure Americans who are nervous about the economy. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
Having been achieved, the bill is passed.
The Senate unanimously passed a $2 trillion stimulus package, and it now heads to the House for its approval. House members will have 24 hours to review the bill before it's expected to pass tomorrow morning.
It will pass. It will pass with a strong bipartisan support.
I want to make sure we review it, but do not slow it down and be able to move this to the president's desk as soon as possible.
When the bill becomes law, the money will start flowing quickly. Small business loans, which can convert to grants, can be turned around within 36 hours for some businesses. Unemployment insurance will go up by $600 a week as soon as next week. And the $1,200 cash payments to individuals could be directly deposited into your account within the next 3 weeks. Lawmakers hope the injection of money will help businesses survive until the economy opens back up. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell told NBC News, "We may already be in a recession, but he says the recovery will likely be quick."
People are being asked to step back from economic activity, close their businesses, stay home from work. So in principle, if we get the virus spread under control fairly quickly, then economic activity can resume. And we want to make that rebound as vigorous as possible.
Ford is hoping to rebound, announcing it intends to reopen several of its North American plants beginning April 6th. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President Donald Trump has said he hopes to reopen large portions of America by Easter in order to get the economy up and running again. In our consumer alert this afternoon, the coronavirus is hitting the housing market hard. The Mortgage Bankers Association reports that mortgage applications plunged 29.4% last week. People trying to sell homes have canceled showings during the outbreak, and because closings are done in person, economists expect that sales will decline sharply. Meanwhile, mortgage rates have actually gone up. Experts say that's partially because lenders are wrestling with capacity issues, backlogs, and the challenge of working remotely in real estate. Airbnb will soon provide housing to 100,000 COVID-19 responders. The company announced the new global initiative today. It plans to connect those responding to the pandemic with safe and convenient places to stay while they carry out their work. The offer applies to healthcare professionals, relief workers, and first responders around the world. Airbnb says it will waive all fees for stays arranged through this initiative. Coming up here at noon, the nation is struggling to get medical supplies to hospitals that need them. We find out what areas hardest hit by this pandemic are doing to get by. But next, Justin Fanfarelli is in with when we can expect to see a little more sunshine in our forecast.